Welcome back to the Creepshow. For this sequel, they were able to present the creep in an animated format for the wraparound stories, which does closer resemble the comic book format. Sorry kiddies, but we don't have the budget for that in this particular production, so you're stuck with live-action me. Our first story, Old Chief Woodenhead, features an old couple who live in a drying-up town and are being harassed by a group of 3 punks. The punks steal the jewelry of the local tribe and kill the old couple, so the statue outside gets revenge for them. After listening to the lead punk Sam rant on and on about how he wants to be a movie star, it would have been nice to see him scalped. But sadly, all the killing happens off-screen. At least the suit they built for the chief looks great. Admittedly, this shot goes on for far too long and isn't very scary. But never matter, this next one will surely be really spooky. We briefly check in with young Billy, who is picking up a package, before heading in to follow 4 teenagers on their way to the lake for a swim. This story is The Raft, and you can read the original version in Stephen King's Skeleton Crew collection. It's named for the raft that's floating in the middle of the lake, but the real trouble here is the strange, black, oozing creature swimming in the lake with them. While not as smooth and round as it's described in the story, it still does its dirty work just as effectively. There's a lot of teenage drama here combined with the monster, and the movie version is greatly improved by the fact that we don't have to spend it inside Randy's jealous and lustful head. The ghastly creature attacks and dissolves the teens one by one, but there is a problem here. The story turns our protagonist into a disgusting, loathsome man when Randy sexually assaults Laverne. It's shameful of him, and it causes the poor girl's death. Randy then takes advantage of it, eating her to make his escape, but he can't escape the monster that easily.
I beat you!
In the story, he is properly remorseful when it happens, and he dives directly into the creature as a form of suicide. Either way, it's a miserable end for these thoroughly miserable teenagers. Teenagers are so cruel. Just look at these jerks bullying Billy around. But don't you worry. He'll have his revenge soon enough. Until then, though, it's time for the hitchhiker. A cheating wife is running late on her way home, and in her rush she runs over a hitchhiker. His corpse follows her around, saying the most frightful words in the English language.
Thanks for the ride.
Oh, you don't think that's scary yet? What about now?
Thanks for the ride, lady! Thanks for the ride, lady! Thanks for the ride! Thanks for the ride, lady.
Okay, fine. It's not scary. But he looks really, really gross, right? And maybe you'll be more impressed with Billy's revenge? Alright, fine. This isn't a scary movie. The cast is mediocre and the stories are weak. It doesn't help that Romero only wrote the screenplay rather than directed it. But if you catch it on cable sometime, give it a watch. It's not that bad. They made a Creepshow 3 film, but neither Stephen King or George Romero were involved in any way. So it's time for me to return to my cave of darkness. I think I'll go watch Night of the Living Dead. Now that's horror. Happy Halloween!